Do not feel pressured to do this to yourself. You can't get away from student loans. You can't even file bankruptcy and get away from them. They will follow you. Something I used to be so proud of. Now I feel like an idiot. None of this is new information. If you're an adult in the United States, you're already aware student loans are a freaking scam. I am just simply making this video in the hopes that I can save even one person from a potentially six-figure financial mistake. And now I don't think higher education is a mistake, but I just want to encourage everyone to go into it with a lot of forethought and do you really need to do this? There are plenty of online compound interest calculators out there that you can go ahead and play around with the numbers with if you are thinking about going to school. If you have one in mind, you know how much it costs, go ahead and plug that in, use an average student loan interest rate and find out for yourself. But here are my actual real world numbers from my student loans. I graduated from undergrad in 2008, and then I decided to go to grad school, which I graduated with my master's in 2015. With everything all said and done, I had $211,584.67 in student loans, the bulk of which are federal. There were a handful of private student loans, but the bulk of that balance is federal, which typically have slightly better interest rates than private, and they have generally a few more benefits as far as repayment options and forgiveness and repayment programs and things like that. So there's something to look into. But let's talk about that compounding interest. Now, coming out of school, just getting fresh into the workplace, you're probably not rolling into a big salary right away, which was the case for me. So when you're on an income-based repayment plan, which I think most people generally are to keep your payment somewhat commensurate with your income, being on an income-based plan at the time really helped me. My student loan, despite having a huge balance, my monthly payment was really low because my salary was really low. That dynamic does you no favors, which is horribly unfortunate. And I don't know how else to go about that, because when you are starting out, you do have a smaller salary and you can't just be swamped with an overwhelmingly large monthly payment. But then so your payment's smaller, but then that smaller payment is like not helping your balance any. Case in point, right? So I graduated late spring 2015. And then you have that 6-month probationary period where you're not accruing interest and you don't have to make payments yet because they want you to get on your feet. So 2016, really right before it, is when my interest started accruing. Throughout 2016, I paid $10,744 out of pocket, and my balance went down by about $6,554, which is pretty good. It's about half and half. You know, when you have a huge thing that you just purchased, your monthly payments, a lot of that is going to go to interest. That's just how it is. 2017, I still had that really low salary, unfortunately. I paid out of pocket $12,977.95. My balance went down by $919.42. No missing zeros there. That's over $12,000 just to interest. So that's fun. If I had stayed on that trajectory, that would have just kept going worse and worse and worse, and I don't think I really would have seen a reduction in my balance. Luckily, by the grace of some kind of miracle, I got a much higher paying job in 2018 and finally started making a dent in these suckers. I still, to this day, as of filming, have $160,500.22 in student loan debt. So here's my biggest gripe with student loans. Yeah, this seems great. Let's give an 18-year-old decision-making authority to make a potentially six-figure financial decision before they even totally can understand what that's like, what that means. This isn't like you're buying a six-figure house that if you default on, the bank's just going to take the house back, and sure, your credit might be shit for a while, but you can move on with your life. You can't get away from student loans. You can't even file bankruptcy and get away from them. They will follow you. Yay. And I hope the gravity of that can really sink in for people before they make these decisions, because it definitely did not happen for me, which is okay. But I have spent the last decade trying to undo this stupid fucking mistake that I made years ago. And now, I guess I could always call the school up and say, can I get my money back on either of these? Why? What's the fucking point? Even this one, I hang on to it. She's small, she's practical, she was pretty cheap. This one cost me about $25,000 altogether. This was my undergrad degree. Let's talk about this big floppy, overinflated, six-figure piece of paper that I don't even hang these on the wall because I'm so embarrassed, frustrated, discouraged by these financial decisions that I made over a decade ago that are just haunting me. This one, sure, she's at least useful. Did I need this? No. Do you know how irritating that is? I literally want to light these on fire, which I could. Makes no difference. I have the degree anyway, and nobody's questioning me at this point, but it's like, fuck. Obviously, we've all been hearing about student loans ad nauseum over the last few years, but it's still such a hot frustration for me because my entire existence is just budgeting so that I can pay these damn things off. That's my existence as an adult. So please take that into consideration before you make these decisions. Now, this video isn't really aimed at my current subscribers because my current subscribers see me in the trenches of paying this large amount of debt off week after week. So subscribe if you want to join us and hang out and need some motivation in that department. But the whole point of this video was just, if I can help one person that watches this from making a big financial decision like that, that's all I can ask. Please don't be like me. And the worst part is when I see these things, I also see societal pressure. As shitty as that is, that's all I see when I see these pieces of paper. Is when I was growing up, when I was in school, there was no other way. College was everything. If you didn't go to college, you were like, ooh, I don't know if you're gonna make it very far in life. And it's like, who's laughing now? The tradespeople. We know. So I get so fired up about this topic. Obviously, I'm so, this whole journey, my whole financial existence over the last decade of trying to get out from under student loans has completely changed my view of society in general, which is a whole nother rabbit hole. But do not feel pressured to do this to yourself. Do not feel pressured. You don't need this shit. I mean, you do, maybe maybe you do some jobs, obviously. But it's the internet age. It's the creator economy. There is so freaking much opportunity for everyone. You do not need to spend a shitload of money to make it as an adult in this society. You just don't anymore. And I'm so glad that has changed. I'm so glad people are waking up to this scam shit, and I hope that there's some kind of reform on the way that universities are charging people, the amount they're charging people, and just let's reel it in, America. This shit is fucked up.